Hi, welcome to JJ's Productions. We've got another Hitman 2 video. This time we're in Whittleton Creek and we're doing the Silent Assassin Suit Only run on Master difficulty. So we've got two targets, Janus and Nolan Cassidy, and we've also got to collect 3 pieces of evidence. So it's quite a different type of Hitman level this compared to the ones I've seen in Hitman 2016 and Hitman 2. And I've got to admit, out of the 2 games, I'd say this is probably my favourite mission for that reason as well, in the sense that the surroundings and the map itself is it's got a very unique design. It certainly feels like 47's blending in here, rather than maybe some of the others where, you know, he's wearing his suit but he looks out of place. So, yeah, it's a very good map. I actually enjoyed playing this Silent Assassin Suit Only. I mean, as well as that, the first playthrough I had on it, I actually got Janus very easily, and Nolan Cassidy took slightly longer to work out in terms of what I needed to do to get him on his own, but even he's pretty simple, so it was just the evidence that slows you down on this one. So let's go through it. So we're going straight to the right from the starting location, and we're going to just pick up a newspaper. Not necessarily that you got to use it, but you can get a challenge if you throw the newspaper at someone. I forget to do it at this video, but you do get a challenge unlocked for doing it. Now, I'm picking up blueberry muffins just for the fact that we need one for Janus's kill, but they're handy just as distractions. I haven't brought coins with me. As you can see, I've got the briefcase, but inside I've got a lockpick. I've also brought along with me, I'm trying to remember what I brought with me. Oh yes, lethal poison. So, lethal poison does actually unlock at the end of this, I believe, but I also unlocked it in Paris. So if you haven't played through Paris, if you just go through a couple of mastery levels, you'll get the lethal poison. So at this point, I'm going to knock this guy out. There can be a little bit of a problem here. If this guy isn't on his own, there's someone in here, I would advise you to restart this route if you're attempting to play it my way. Just for the record as well, that guy there, he can see through that window at times, so you might get a body found, so you've got to take it really slow when dragging bodies around past that window. Just going back to the previous point though, if there are 2 people in that room, I would advise you to restart the level just for the fact that the second guy is someone we're going to knock out in a moment, and if you knock him out sooner by using the generator we've just passed by, it can just mess up the route a little bit. So my advice would be just try and restart and do it the way I'm doing it, otherwise all your timings can be out if you advance things a little too fast. Make sure you pick up that recording, and make sure you pick up the submachine gun as well, the SMG. So once he's turned around, we're going to go up the stairs. Just take your time going up because someone does walk across that hallway. We're turning right, going into this room, and we're knocking this guy out in the brown jacket. Now this is the guy who was in the room downstairs before, who I was saying make sure you don't knock him out. The reason being, you can get him into the garage area via the generator, but it really does mess up the route. And the reason we've got to knock him out is because he's got a piece of evidence, which you're probably hearing Diana narrating about on the subtitles. So we've got the first bit about the Ark Society. Now we're just going to creep around here, and we're going to wait for this guy to turn around again, pretty much. The door at the far end, there is an enforcer or an NPC who just walks through there. So again, when you're coming down the stairs, keep an eye out for him as well, because I did get caught once by him. So when you're using instinct, just make sure he isn't actually looking this way. Make sure he's turned around. Once he's going back to his second position, jump through the window, go through the gate, and we're in a non-trespassing area again. But immediately we are going to go back into one. We're going to jump over this fence, and we're going to go and get the second piece of evidence. If I didn't say it as well, make sure you open up the Cassidy garage door again once you've got rid of the body. Just for the fact that if Cassidy can't get in, the kill is a little bit more complicated, so try and make it as easy as possible for yourself and keep the garage door open. So I'm sneaking around here. This guy is very annoying. The best way I found to sneak around him is turn the generator on. It's a little tricky getting to that point, but once the generator's on, it's so easy to sneak past him, because all you got to do is wait for him and go around the left of this building. So it's pretty simple to do, nothing overly complicated again. So yeah, once he's gone to investigate the generator, we're just going to jump the fence again, and we're in the non-trespassing area again. Well, actually, we don't even have to jump the fence, we can just walk through the gate. Lockpicks only work one way after all for some reason. So Cassidy's just on the left and he's going to go back into his house momentarily. So I'm picking out the blueberry muffin, and the idea is we've got to separate him from what I assume is his assistant or his personal bodyguard or something along those lines. So as you can see, I'm just lining up the throw. The guy following decided to stop and I thought, hey, oh, what's wrong? But no, he just decides to slow down at times. As soon as you get a chance, as soon as Cassidy looks like he's getting close to the stairs, throw the blueberry muffin. If you can throw it when he's on the stairs, that's better, but if you throw it a bit early, it doesn't really matter too much. The aim of this is to knock out the guard or the guy who's following him, just to keep him out of the way. You don't have to hide his body, but you do need to separate them. As soon as Cassidy's through the door, knock this guy out. This was a little bit close, but I did get the knockout. As you can see, it was a little bit awkward because you're thinking you don't want anyone passing by and seeing the body, but nothing going there. We're going to shut the garage door, and I'm also going to pick up the briefcase. The reason being, we're going to use it as a distraction. So, go through the door, and we're going to throw the briefcase just in that general area. The reason being, Cassidy will actually go to investigate the briefcase, which doesn't always happen. He hasn't got VIP status in this instance, so that's very good. And we're going to just line up headshot, and as soon as he's bent down, we're going to take the shot. Nice and easy. Now, that guy there, he will turn around, but he won't see the body, and the guy in the other room, he just can't see it either, so it's quite a good place to take him out. And we're going to drag him the same way we dragged that guard before, just along this little area and into the crate. It does mean we've got one body left out, but no one goes in the garage as far as I can tell, so that isn't a concern. Once again though, keep an eye out for enforcers outside, because somehow they can see through that very little crack in the window. So you don't want a body being found just because of what I'm assuming is a game glitch. Hopefully if you're watching this and it's a few months down the line from when I recorded it, that won't happen, but if it's any time near January 2019, just be careful. So what we're going to do now is just actually get out of here, because we've got pretty much everything we need. So I'm picking up all the little trinkets and whatnot, but that is it. We have actually completed this level, so I'm going to reopen, well, not this level, but this part of the level. So open the garage door and then shut it. That way no one can see the body. There's just no chance of it. So next up, we've got to just get to Janus's house. And Janus is very simple to kill. The idea is we're going to place a blueberry muffin on his table, poison it, and walk off. There's literally nothing hard about it. The only difficulty as such is making sure that you don't get seen going into the property. And again, that is more a matter of timing rather than actual difficulty. In one playthrough, I was trying to rush it a little bit and I got caught lockpicking a gate. And in reality, I shouldn't have got caught because it was just being sloppy. So as long as you play it sensible, you can get through here very fast. Point of note, I would run on the road at this point just because that guy there in the hat is going to talk to you if you walk past him, and considering we're about to lockpick a gate, best not to be seen doing it. So, lockpick the gate, we're going to go through this window on the left, and there's a NPC just in there. So what we're going to do is walk through this door, turn on this generator, or turn it off, or activate it, whatever you want to call it. And as soon as he comes to investigate it, we're going to knock him out, turn off the generator if he hasn't already done it for us, and we're going to put him in the crate on the right. So again, so simple this. I mean, you can actually get into the garage via the garage door, but you do need to use the lockpick on it. So if the guard isn't there, you can lockpick the garage door, but then you have to wait to get in via the garage. So there's difficulties doing it that way, whereas this way the garage door's shut, you haven't got to worry about getting in. All you got to do is make sure you don't get seen going through the gate. So I actually prefer this way rather than actually lockpicking the garage door open. So the last thing here, which I've already stated, we've got to place the blueberry muffin on the table. So here it is, just do what the prompt says, blueberry muffin there, you'll get a second prompt to poison it. Now, if you haven't got lethal poison and you don't want to go to Paris and unlock it, say you haven't got the legacy pack or anything like that, what you can do is, there is a lethal frog, of all things, in the map. Now, I'm pretty sure the lethal frog is around the Cassidy premises, so you would have to sneak around, but I'm sure there's one in that area. So my advice would be to look there if you're after a lethal poison, because I don't believe they've got one of a pill type in this map. So I would advise looking around the backyard of the Cassidy building where we were before, just to see if there's a frog that you can put into the blueberry muffin. I know that doesn't make any sense in the real world, but Hitman game, yeah, you can put a frog into a cake and poison it. So, last but not least, we've got 2 pieces of evidence, and when we were in the security room of the Cassidy place, we did actually pick up a 3rd piece of evidence. The trouble is, that 3rd piece of evidence we haven't actually worked out yet. We've got the Ark Society from the bodyguard in the Cassidy place, and we've got the date, November 13th, from the shed in the neighbouring yard. The surveillance tape we've got to get up to the top floor of this building to actually make use of. So I'm going to climb up here. You've got to be really careful of them NPCs because they do look up. So as soon as you get a chance, jump on here and then crouch. Jump through the window, and once you're through, you're pretty much safe. Now, this is actually the first time I got up here, so I was a little bit uncertain what I was doing, but as soon as I got my bearings, I realised, okay, loft ladder, up we go, and pretty much straight ahead there's a tape player. So yeah, just activate the tape player, you've got the surveillance tape in your hand, it'll show sound waves I believe on the screen, so it'll just basically display the evidence so you can hear it. You can actually leave at this point. I stuck around because I was actually quite curious what was being said, but then in the top left corner they decided to show me Janus dying. So the 2 sort of overlap and I didn't actually get the full story of the evidence, but once again Diana does fill you in. So as this map goes, I really did enjoy it. It's very hard finding the evidence, I must admit. I think there are certain pieces of evidence that are easier to get if you've got a disguise. So as suit-only runs go, this was quite difficult for that reason. But I'm not against it by any stretch. I thought it was a very unique twist. It wasn't like, say, Colorado and the bunker, you know, you got to get the face mask and all that. It was just something that was more, you got to hunt something down, and I did enjoy that element. So yeah, I'm quite pleased how this one turned out as a level, and I'm actually looking forward to getting onto the Isle of Scale because I had a quick playthrough and it looks tricky, I've got to admit, but I'm going to have a go in the next week and hopefully get it out for next Friday, if not the one after. So yeah, that's the mission as it is. All we've got to do now is leave the building. Now as I said, there is an NPC out there who's a bit of a pain, and we're just going to make sure he can't see us. So as you can see, he's just up there and he's walking this way. And because he's walking this way, he will see us if we go on the roof, even though he's pointing towards the right as it is, the north of the map. He will see us on the roof. So I decided to just bide my time, and I knew he would move as he is, and he's now going to face the west. So once that's done, all you got to do is jump down. As you can say, drop down, you land in cover, you can pick up the briefcase, and you can exit nice and easy. And the exit's just to the north of the map, so you haven't even got to go far to get out. So I'd like to thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. I'm aiming to get 5 likes on as many videos as I can, so if you could be 1 to 5, I would appreciate it. If you haven't already, subscribe to JJ's Productions for more Hitman 2 videos. There's going to be plenty in the coming weeks and months, so keep updated on that by subscribing. Other than that, thank you very much. Hope to see you in another video. Bye for now, everyone.